In this lesson, we'll be looking at the properties of lines and comparing graphs of equations that have the same slope. So in this example, we have two equations, y equals 3x minus 1 and y equals 3x plus 2. They both have a slope of 3 and yet have different intercepts. They are, in fact, parallel lines. Looking at these two, we see that they have a slope of negative 2x, but they have different y-intercepts. Again, the lines are parallel because they have the identical slope. This particular graph shows two equations with different slopes, but the same y-intercept. Because they have different slopes, they will at some point when graphed intersect. Because they have the same b value, they will have the same y-intercept. Here we have four different equations. Y equals 2x minus 4 and y equals 2x have the same slope, therefore they are parallel. Y equals negative 3x plus 5 and y equals negative 3x minus 1 again have the same slope, so they are parallel. So in the equation, y equals mx plus b, m is the slope, which determines the steepness of the line. Ignoring the sign of the coefficient of x, the greater the coefficient, the steeper the line. As we increase the value of m, or increase the slope in other words, you can see what happens to the steepness of the graph. As a graph approaches infinite, it becomes a vertical line. Now the value of m is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And as it approaches 0 and becomes 0, it becomes a horizontal line. If the line rises to the right, then we have positive slope, y equals 2x, and it is shown here, an example to the right here. If it falls down to the right, then we have a negative slope, example negative 2x, and you can see it falls off to the right. And of course, like we've said many times before, b is the y-intercept, and it determines where the line crosses the y-axis. Parallel lines have the same slope, but different y-intercepts. A horizontal line has a slope of 0, which means the value for m is 0. A vertical line has an undefined or infinite slope, which means the value for m is undefined.